Welcome to Remote Reality. This is Lauren.
And this is Dee.
Hey, Channel Surfers. Happy 4th of July.
Woohoo! Happy 4th.
I hope you guys are having a great Independence Day. Now, I don't know what's legal where you guys are. Wow, this is about to be fun. We can have fireworks here. So today is National Terrorize My Dog Day.
Aww.
And it doesn't help that there was a thunderstorm yesterday. So it's just like shit our pants all day. Poor Lola.
Yeah, I hate it for the dog.
I do. Now, when we go to Edisto Island, it is actually pretty quiet, pretty chill. So that's good. But we're bringing you the Poop Cruise. In case you're hanging out with your family, you need a little break. You've had a few drinks. You're done roasting in the sun. You want to come in and watch your favorite trash TV. Dee and I are here for you. And we're here with Poop Cruise. We have been promising this to you. It is a crazy one. My goodness. I'm never going on a cruise again. I'm good.
I don't think I will either.
Totally good. Wow. None of that looked fun. From the very start where everybody is packed in together like sardines doing the freaking electric slide to the end of it where they are swimming in sewage.
It was just disgusting. Those poor people.
Horrible. And fun fact, like this ship, it's now called the Sunrise. They spent some money fixing it up. And apparently it ports out of where I live. So we're not going to risk it. Anyway, the name of the ship before, though, when everything turned to shit, it was Triumph, which this is so ironic. There is so much that I can say about this ship being called Triumph, because if you are a Conan O'Brien fan, you will know Triumph, the insult comic dog. This is from a long time ago, but he was hilarious. He's this doggy puppet that smokes cigars, kind of like the maritime lawyer in this show, honestly. And his catchphrase is for me to poop on. So, like the comic dog, this ship ended up being for me to poop on.
Very, very appropriate.
And then, much like Triumph the comic dog, they're going to be picking up their poop in a plastic bag.
Speechless. Just speechless.
Here's some doggy bags, guys. Here you go.
Biohazard bags.
I kind of want doggy bags that are biohazard bags now, just for funsies.
That could be interesting.
But yeah, this story has everything. News media definitely figured it out. And it ends with an unexpected ending of friendship and heroism. So let's dive right in.
Yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
All right, let's do this thing. Let me tell you something. This cruise, this is a redneck floating paradise. My family, this could be our family reunion. It has everything. Okay, it doesn't have my Uncle Earl's homemade moonshine, which, my God, that apple pie moonshine, woo! That is some good stuff. I just gotta go find my cousin Ashley, and she's usually got a couple of mason jars full of it. Heck yeah, girl. Heck yeah. But look, we got water. We got sun. We got alcohol. We got a boat, Bo. We got a boat. We've got all you can eat food, buffet style. We've got Hey Bo, watch this, which that's my brother right there. My brother's going to be the dude with the ducky float at the top of that big water slide, about to go down there in the craziest way and shit his pants on the way down. We've got line dancing, which my Aunt Paula, she'd love the line dance. She's going to do the electric slide. Like at Kim's wedding, Kim and Pat's wedding, she was doing the electric slide. They had my dad driving him around the golf cart because he was drunk. But yeah, I mean, this is like a Clark family reunion right here.
It has all of the elements.
But, you know, when we did a family cruise, we did it with my mom's side of the family. So that was a little classier.
It was a Disney cruise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound as fun.
The only fun part about that is that you could buy the liquor duty free on the ship and then take it back to your room. So a lot of cruises, they have limits on how much alcohol you can bring in. They're like, you can bring so many bottles of wine. Even on the Dream, they were like, you can bring 6 bottles of wine.
6?
Exactly. For 3 days.
That's not enough.
Anyway. Then I realized on the dream, they just let us buy the alcohol and carry it off to the side. Now, I don't know what their policies are now. I went on it. It's inaugural year back in 2011. Like just last week, some kid fell off the side of the Disney dream and the dad dived in after her. So maybe we got some new policies now. But anyway, Rob and I were watching this, and as soon as I see these people packed in like sardines in a can in that hot tub, I was like, somebody's peeing in that hot tub.
I won't get in hot tubs, especially public ones.
Ugh. Rob did not believe that people pee in hot tubs. I'm like, okay, alcohol, warm water around your bladder. Didn't believe it.
They're peeing in the hot tub. They're peeing in the pool.
I told him that. I was like, our friends have admitted to your face that they peed in our pool. He says, tell me who. I'm not going to be friends with them. I said, Liz told you that she peed in our pool. He's like, oh, well, yeah.
Another Liz antidote.
She wasn't the only one. I mean, there was like a confessional hour where everybody just started admitting to using our pool like a toilet. But anyway, I use their toilet like a pool. So, haha, gotcha. Just kidding. I don't think it's a pool when your face is in it because you're puking. Anyway, back to the cruise. All right, channel servers, we just had to retake what we just did because where we went with that's got to be paid content only. We got to put that behind a paywall. So in the future, there will be lots of this source. But anyway, yeah, the Russian bartender on this boat, she's like, you crazy Americans, you're walking all around saying yeehaw. Do you think anybody had overalls on this cruise?
I didn't notice any, but there might have been some packed.
So I think so. I mean, wow.
And they are coming out of Texas too, so I get the yeehaws.
This makes so much sense. You're right. They're going from Galveston to Cozumel, Mexico. Have you ever been to Mexico?
No.
Me neither. I want to. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I've been in a lot of places in the Caribbean, but and then like Costa Rica, Nicaragua, but never Mexico. Mexico. Anyway, so first, we just talked about Hannah, the bartender. Let's talk about first things first. Devin, sweet summer child Devin. He wants to go on the cruise to hang out with his in-laws.
Well, he just proposed and he wants to get to know them better.
So what you're saying is he hasn't had enough time to find out that your in-laws are horrible people yet.
Apparently not.
Just kidding. My in-laws are wonderful people. And if you're listening to this podcast, I love you guys. You know who you are.
I have a great mother-in-law too.
Aren't they the sweetest? Anyway, so then we meet Larry and Rebecca. When I first watched this, I was convinced that Rebecca was his daughter. Even when he was like, some daddy-daughter time, did not register. I was thinking he was married to this woman 30 years younger than him.
I know. And me and you were talking and I was like, no, this cruise was like 12 years ago. This is his daughter now grown up talking about the cruise from 2013.
And the math still didn't math because then I was watching it with Rob and Rob had to convince me too.
Were you drinking then?
No, just now. Anyway, Larry and Rebecca, they just wanted some daddy-daughter time. They were sharing cabin 8215. Is that like the penthouse, you think? 8 on this thing?
I mean, there are differences in this. Do they call them staterooms or something? Is that what the rooms are called on a cruise? Anyway, I do think there's different levels of luxury that you can get depending on what room you choose to get.
Nothing says luxury like this cruise.
The shit show.
Larry is going through a divorce. So I got a question. I mean, do you think he's looking at getting his pickle wet?
No, not with his daughter. I think he just wanted some daughter time, get away, just spend some time with her since they were going through the divorce.
So he's not looking at someone to call him daddy? Because if he is, what's he going to do with Rebecca when that happens? Is she going to have to go like hang out with the mascots in their cabin? She going to go hang out with Hannah? Hannah's a party girl.
This turns into a poop cruise. I don't see how anybody is getting anything.
You know what? Let's have our fun for the first 3 days while it lasts. Hannah, the bartender, she's like, look, on these cruises, there is a dichotomy. We have these people that are cruising. They're having a great time. I love it when we're cruising together. You get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
They're having so much fun and they're having a lot of sex. And then you have the crew who is working themselves to the bone. It is the hardest they've ever worked in their lives. And they're also having a lot of sex.
A lot of sex.
And Hannah's like, so, you know, when all this stuff starts, I wasn't in my room. I was hanging out with an engineer.
He's getting banging the engineer.
You know, do they sleep?
Apparently not. They must be taking speed the whole time a cruise is going on.
No wonder it's like the hardest they ever worked in their life because they're working overtime. They're pumping, dumping, and working. And then they're really dumping. Anyway, yeah, so there's the dichotomy. So as far as the people there to have fun, we've got Devin and family, Larry and Rebecca, and then we have Ashley, Kaylin, and Jamie. And Jamie, if you are on YouTube, she has a shirt quite like the one I'm wearing, and she's taking shots out of cups quite like the one I'm drinking out of. Gulp, gulp.
Yeah, they're the whole reason that we're doing shots every time Bachelorette is said, because honestly, if we had shots every time shit was said, we would be drunk before we got through this.
Dee is taking shots every time Bachelorette is said. I just grabbed my first beer. We will see what happens. It is Independence Day. We are going to enjoy our holiday. Anyway, so
I think a lot's going to happen because honestly, you've taken, 30 minutes to get through the first 10 minutes of this.
It's going to be a fun day. Ashley, Kaylin, and Jamie, they're there to celebrate Ashley's bachelorette because what better than a cruise? I didn't have a bachelorette party.
I didn't have a bachelorette party, but I can see why they would go on a cruise. It would be something extremely fun to do.
Your idea was weird. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
on that cruise with Bubba, you know, belly bumping ya when he's doing an electric slide.
If you have intentions of drinking and you want to stay wasted like these girls are talking about, what better way? There's no drinking and driving. You just go on a floating city. You can hit the casinos, hit the dance floor, hit the beaches, hit the pool, have a buffet of food.
This thing might be the size of a skyscraper, but you know what's bigger? An all-inclusive resort. Where, if you want to get away, you call an Uber and you scurry off. And all you can drink, all you can eat, all kinds of fun activities. And if you want to go explore, you can go explore. You aren't stuck on a shit show.
Okay, but Ashley and her crew decide to do this. So they are
the most fun they ever had.
Yeah, for sure.
And the most drunk they had ever been was in Cosmo. They were like, okay, when we were on the boat, we were basically just hungover. When we were off the boat in Cosmo, we are surprised we made it back aboard the ship walking because honestly, they had to sit there and put me in a jacket and pull me back onto the ship.
Yeah, she said they lost their dignity there. I don't know what went down, but that was a pretty bold statement to say she lost her dignity there.
Lost her dignity in Mexico. Let's ask AI. All right, Channel Surfers, we are back. And you know what? I don't think I can lose my dignity in Mexico because according to Gemini, I don't have any dignity to start with. It's fine. It's fine.
Let's just chalk it up to what happens in Mexico stays in Mexico. How's that one?
Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Cheers. All right. So, yeah. I mean, this cruise, this is like everybody's dream. They're having the best time. Devin is getting along with his in-laws. It's like miracles happen on the Triumph. And then everything goes wrong. Okay. So, Dee, Channel Surfers, let's do a little experiment. I want everybody to close their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes are closed?
Sure.
Awesome. Everybody close your eyes. Now imagine you have drifted into a deep sleep after a long day of being out in the sun and drinking heavily, and you're relaxing and you're floating off into dream world. Alert!
Oh my gosh. That would be horrible to wake up to.
That's exactly what happened. These people, they're like, we're done being hungover. we're still hungover. We're done being drunk. We're just going to go pass out in our beds. 5:30 in the morning. They get the awful alert. You guys, Dee's yelling at me.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. She's got macaroni salad to make. And I just want to talk about how she's beautiful and should be on camera. Anyway, so yeah, crazy alert. And nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's like, what? What is it? You know what? The hungover bridesmaid party, they're just like, alarm, Alexa, stop. I want to go back to sleep.
If they're anything like me, they're probably trying to find the source of the alarm so they can just knock it off of the ceiling.
They just want some Tylenol. But the electricity's completely out. They do notice it's pitch black.
Yep. And Abby, one of the cooks in the kitchen, he's down there working, and he sees smoke coming out. Yeah, he sees smoke coming out of the kitchen sink.
Oh, so the sink is cooking. What?
Yeah.
The sink?
Smoke coming out of the kitchen sink.
What the heck? Did one of the shop... Hey, did Bobby drop his cigarette in the sink again? We told him that's gross. Bobby the dishwasher.
Maybe.
No.
But they finally determined that there's a fire in the engine room.
Oh, no. Well, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. They're on the ocean. There's a lot of water. Why is that?
And it's happened before. It's actually happened before, which I thought was like, oh, my God, really?
You know what? It could happen again. Fun fact time. The shit show Triumph is still on the ocean. Guess where it ports out of?
Charleston.
Yep, that's right. Don't go on the Sunrise, guys. Don't go on the Sunrise unless you want a shit show. Anyway, no, apparently it was like a $200 million remodel.
It was a huge remodel, and then they put it back out to sea.
But like, is that, I guess they like bleached everything.
I would say there was a lot more that had to be done than just bleach.
I mean, I think they had to rebuild probably. I don't know what they did. I don't know. I don't plan on going. I'm good. I will just fly out of the airport. I'm fine. All right. So, you know, the crew, they know this is serious, especially Steven. Steven, our guest services manager, this is particularly serious for him.
Yeah. Steven can't swim.
I hate to admit it, but you know what? If one of our guests go overboard, Steven, the guest services manager, he's not jumping in after you.
Who the hell takes a job on a floating boat, ship, whatever you want to call it, and can't swim? You're surrounded by water, dude.
You're surrounded by drunk people line dancing and kicking their feet to kick you overboard. This is basic safety, I think.
Like, if I took a job on a cruise ship, the first thing I would be doing if I could not swim was taking swimming lessons and learning how to pretty quick if I'm going to do it.
I would just go and get a job at a resort in the Caribbean. Nah, forget the cruise ship. Anyway, so then we go back to the bachelorette party. Ashley, she wakes up middle of the night, still kind of drunk from Cosmo. And what beautiful sight does she see as she gazes out her window in complete darkness?
She sees flames shooting out of the red fin on the top of the boat. A lot of passengers do, because they're all gravitating outside out onto the decks to see what's going on. And everybody, when they look to the sky, is flames shooting out of the red fin on this ship.
By the time people grab their cell phones, we just see a lot of smoke. It looks like Snoop Dogg's hanging out with us on board. But yeah, the fin of the Carnival Triumph basically turned into the Olympic torch.
Yeah.
And the boat then became an Olympic-sized toilet as we progress in this story. So Becca says there's a fire on board, which is way more terrifying than a fire on land. First of all, I'm going to be shitting my pants wherever there's a fire. Second of all, everything on a cruise is more terrifying than it is on land.
Absolutely. There's nowhere to go.
There's a risk of sharks. Now, Jen is one of the crewmates. She is the British person that we hear Devin talking about at the beginning of the show. You know, they're starting to try to get things together, but all these people are out on the deck. Everybody wanted to come out there for the fire show. Not fireworks, just fire.
Yeah.
And she's just like, she gets on the mic. Everything's okay. Y'all go back to your goddamn rooms. Go get some fucking breakfast or coffee. you can go anywhere but here. Quit standing on the deck. And there's one girl that's like wearing her bathrobe. Whatever.
She just kind of shrugs.
Never. So yeah, they are just, and it's honestly, it doesn't look that bad on the deck. What they show in this video is a tenth less crowded than the middle of the day when they're line dancing in the sun.
Well, there's still probably people passed out from being drunk the night before. I think this is like around 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe.
It does look like early morning, like daybreak. And like sunrise. Wonder where they got the name for the new Triumph show.
I was just going to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Like sunrise. Yeah. So maybe the crew is like, look, y'all, we're still sleeping. We've been fighting fires all night, like freaking Smokey Robinson. No.
Those hotties on the calendar.
Yeah. Bubba without his shirt on and that farmer's tan. Wow. It's as hot as that fire. Yeah. Yeah. They're not those kind of firefighters. It's more like Smokey Bear. So this thing is lit. Just like me right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even one beer in, but I do have number 2s.
Disgraceful. That's disgraceful.
I'm drinking New Belgium Danger Beach IPA. I'm just drinking Rob's beer. It was in the fridge. Why not? I don't have any alcohol. I don't drink that much, so my husband had a few. And then he has a New Belgium Voodoo Ranger Tropic Force, which is going to be number 2. I digress.
And then the hummus that you're licking out of the bowl.
Oh my God, it's delicious. This is lemon dill hummus, and I have some nans, but there wasn't quite enough hummus per nan. So I licked it out with my finger, and then I started licking the bowl, which, fun fact, when Liz and I went out for Mexican food like a couple months ago, we got cheese dip, and both of us were licking it out of the bowl with our fingers. You would be horrified. We are also drinking out of this same margarita glass. And this was right after you and I had that conversation about double dipping, and you were like, I won't even share my M&Ms with my kid.
No, you guys are just so fucked up. You're so fucked up.
We really are. I love you, Liz. She was texting pictures of penis toys that, like, no, not that kind. Like her son bought her, oh God, this sounds so messed up. Her son bought her a penis water bottle, and she texted a picture to our friends. Anyway, that sounded a lot worse than it ended up being. Where were we? ADHD. We're back. Right, I remember where we are, but Dee just said that this podcast was going to be a train wreck, like the train wreck cruise that we're watching.
I said I was trying to keep it from being a train wreck.
That train wreck must be a series because there's a new train wreck that has come out, but it has to do with the American.
It was something with apparel, I think.
American Apparel. That's right. So we have one of those at South Park Mall when we lived near Charlotte. Anyway. So yeah, Devin's like, all right, Jen. All right, British lady. I hear your angelic voice from up above. I'm going to take my fiance. We're going to go get a caramel latte. Let's just go enjoy it. He's got his camera out. His phone is still working. There's no electricity, but well, actually that's what happens. He's got his phone out and the electricity just goes flat. And that's not all. That's not all that they lose.
I mean, it's the electricity is lost. It has caused them to lose everything. There's like no backup generators or something. So there's like it won't even they won't even work a toaster. Like it won't even.
It's on fire. Good Lord. Then the AC cut out. Gone. AC gone.
Done. Pooey. So now they're in a boat on the ocean.
Where would you risk swimming back to Mexico? If they said it was 10 miles, would you risk it for the biscuit?
I seriously would not make it swimming back to Mexico 10 miles.
Your option is ship without AC.
Yeah.
Okay. We're just at ship without AC at this point in electricity. I think you're right. I think we're both agreeing we're just going to hang out on the deck and try to make it. But as things progress, we will see. Is it worth the 10-mile swim back to shore?
Yeah, because they're thinking that it's just going to be a couple of hours and everything's going to be fixed.
Get our electricians down there. It's fine. It's fine. These things happen sometimes. Never. But it's fine. We read the instructions about emergencies. We are not Ashley and Jamie and Kaylin. We know what to do. We buckled our seatbelts before this flight took off. We've got this. I also lost control. They completely lost control of the boat steering.
Yeah. That's a big deal.
Are we swimming back to the shores of Mexico yet?
Yeah. They've also lost the cell, too.
Oh, yeah. The cell phone is gone. I'm still on the boat at this point, thinking I'm going to get rescued soon, to be honest.
But then they dropped the big bomb.
Well, they're just trying to put out fires at this point. They're like, okay, this is cool. Like, we can do without electricity. Nobody can see anything. Like, sometimes you don't want to see anything. It's like wearing a blindfold. It could be crazy, especially with all the sex going on. And then they are like, all right, well, no AC, but just go outside, go up to the deck. Which, I'm sorry, the no AC, that would probably be the first thing on my list, but we will continue. The next thing, the toilets don't work. No toilet.
Yeah. This could be a major problem. There's over 4,200 people on this boat.
What are we going to do?
Well, at first they think, they can just go over the rails, but then they quickly realize that women can't easily just pee off the side of the ship.
And the graphics they have for this, they have the guy sitting on the side of the ship taking a pee and winking. It's like a cartoon guy. Then they have this cartoon girl sitting on the edge, and she's like, she's just taking a pee, but for some reason she falls backwards.
Well, no way.
Like her thumb panties are around her ankles.
It's got like the X in front of it, like the warning, don't do this on the graphic. Don't piss like this over the side of the ship.
Yeah, because especially if you're a woman, you might get knocked over by Bobby.
Maybe your panties will save you. Maybe they'll hook on something before you get all the way down.
Like a lifeguard ring thing that holds the ring, and you're just holding up.
Oh my goodness.
That's maybe not the best idea. I don't know. It sounds better than what we end up with, which is a joke by Jen. This starts out as a joke.
Let's pee in the showers if you have to go number 1. They're very nice and polite about it. If you got to go number 1, we suggest that you pee in the shower.
Just the toilets that aren't working are like, is the water not running? Can you fill up a bottle and rinse out the pee after you pee?
I don't know. They said the toilets wouldn't flush, so they're encouraging everybody to go in the showers.
Why don't we just pee in the jacuzzi like we've been doing this whole time?
I'm sure people were pissing everywhere come to the end of this cruise.
The pool was like light yellow.
Like nobody was going in that pool after this announcement.
No, everybody was going to. They're like, wow, it's warmer than yesterday.
It's not like we don't know that people are pissing in it. Now we know people are going to be pissing in it.
Then, they're not pooping in it. Maybe they are. What do you have to do if you have to go number 2?
Well, they're going to hand out little red biohazard bags to everyone, and we want you to go number 2 in the bag, and then you can set it out in the hallway where somebody will pick it up for you.
All right, so how do we do this?
Wait,
what's your strategy to getting the poop into this bag? Do you make a funnel? Like, how do you
do
you poop in the toilet and then pick it up like a dog bag, like inside out?
Gosh. Maybe you could find like some kind of a small can or something that the bag can fit over like a trash bag, and then you can just kind of like squat down on it or something. I don't know.
Okay,
like how?
If you're ever on a cruise, Dee, and tell her how to.
I don't know. Like
that sounds better than my ideas. I was about to start pooper scoopering myself.
Oh, you were just going to shit anywhere and scoop it up, huh?
I was going to go to the toilet, but now that you mentioned it, just depends on how much free alcohol I've had at that point. We haven't even gotten to the free alcohol yet, but honestly, okay, what if you have diarrhea?
Oh, gosh. I mean, it's the bag. It's the bag. Like, and these people are like, what the fuck? They want us to do what?
These are such first world problems.
Excuse me?
It's the worst thing ever. I mean, there are people that don't even know that technology exists, that live in the depths of the Amazon. They would like
poop in a bag?
Well, they don't even have bags. Like, they would want to come in contact with us because of our diseases, but they don't know that anything like technology or anything exists. This is like very primitive, but
I understand.
Like first world problems.
They're just going in a hole out in the field or something.
You know what? You can tell, like, when they're making the help sign at the beginning of the show on the side of the deck, they're like spelling it out. These are just insanely drunk people laying down on the boat deck. They know that help is there. You've got the airplanes from the news crew flying over. At this point, you got a tugboat trying to pull your butt. Like, they're there to help. They're there to videotape you. This is just because you're drunk and bored. Kind of like this podcast.
Mm-hmm. So the engine room finally cools down, and they go in.
For safety purposes.
They go in, and they discover that all of the electrical lines have been melted completely through.
Y'all, this is lit up like a firework. Happy 4th of July. Anyway, it's melted. They are not getting this ship working. They're not getting the electricity working.
They're not getting their toilets back.
The AC, the toilets. Nope. But we are getting tugboats.
Yeah. They're still close to Mexico, so they're going to get tugboats to take them back.
And Devin's like, if you're going to tug me, I'll just wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, he's taking Imodium. He's just waiting.
He's like, are you tugging me hard? Are we going to come over there? Anyway, go over there. Oops.
I bet the store is completely out of Imodium, by the way, on this ship.
Oh, my gosh.
Everybody's trying to stop themselves up.
Everybody's trying to hold it. But then they have another problem. It is warm. It is, and this was my first concern, is how warm it was going to be.
Yeah, so then, now they're pitching tents out of sheets up on the decks. Like, all of the people are coming out of their rooms. They're bringing their mattresses.
You know what? We see people carrying this mattress up the stairs or down the stairs. I was like, dude, just like set it down and let's be Macaulay Culkin and Home Alone and slide down the stairs.
Just ride it down those stairs.
That's what I would be doing. Although I don't think they had alcohol that day.
No, so far there's not been any alcohol, but that's going to change.
Oh, that's definitely going to change. Yeah, they go outside. They're like, let's chill there. And it doesn't look comfortable. All right, I would probably look for like one of those mats and sleep on it on the pool. Mm-hmm. And then like if I got hot, I could roll over and... Hopefully, if I rolled over while I'm asleep, I'd wake up, hopefully.
I don't know. See, at this point, my brain would be thinking people are probably peeing in the pool. So I'm not going to float around in the pool because I know people are peeing in the pool.
See, people are always peeing in the pool.
I know, but there's a difference in what you know and what you don't know.
You always know. Are you like Rob?
If I don't know, it don't hurt me.
All right. So, I mean, but oh gosh, it would be so hot. I don't think I'd care. There's chlorine in there. To clean out the giant toilet, I would want to be near the pool.
Okay.
I would do it. I would go. Anyway, so this is where we are on night one. There is hope. We're going to get tugged. So they don't have phone service. They can't talk to their family members. And then, as if out of nowhere, another large Carnival ship comes to the rescue. It's like a mirage.
And they're partying on that boat. They're taking pictures of them like there's some kind of freak show. But what do they realize? What do they realize?
All they're getting is some food so they don't have to keep eating soggy onion and lettuce sandwiches. I don't know what they're getting, but they're getting some food storage and that's it. That
self-service
out of there. Bye.
They're getting cell service.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Jesus.
They're getting fucked in every way, but they are getting cell service. So everybody is on the deck in basically tent cities that they have set up. And they all have their phones outreach to the sky. And all of a sudden, they realize that the crew realizes, the PR for Carnival realizes, this isn't in the bag anymore. We just lost the whole PR campaign that we tried earlier to save this disaster.
Yeah, we're completely fucked.
Everybody knows. Big news crews know. What are they being told, Dee?
That they're shitting in bags. They're stuck in the middle of the ocean and they're having to shit in bags.
They're running out of food and they're pooping in bags. And when they said that part, the news anchor was like, and that's when I knew we had a story. Boom.
Now everybody's going to know.
Everybody's going to know. So we see Becca talking to her mom on the phone. Presumably, this is Larry's ex-wife. Larry is just sitting there staring off into space while she's on the phone with her mom or talking about it. Becca's mom is not happy about this. She is like, this is so dangerous. Why would anybody go on a cruise like that? I think she's a little bitter, a little bit.
Yeah, I think that might contributed some to her comments.
And I think Larry's scared. He looks scared.
He's probably going to lose visitation after this or something.
21 now.
I know. You know what I meant. He took our daughter on a cruise. She had to shit in a bag. No custody.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there was some tension, and they weren't even in the same room. They didn't record together. Mom is off somewhere. The backgrounds that they have in these like studios. So Devin looks like he's at a Dave and Buster's, and Ashley, Jamie, and Kaylin, they look like they're at the Dave and Buster's bar. Now, where are Becca and Larry?
I don't know. They're just like sitting in some chairs or something. I don't know what
whole room or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then Becca's mom is in like some nice apartment.
She's in a house or something.
Well, like you see the kitchen and the living room, so I figured it was a condo. Anyway,
it could be an open floor plan.
But there's no windows. You see no windows. So we're definitely on set somewhere. Who knows? Who knows where? But yeah, this is getting desperate.
And it's about to get worse.
You know, there's some hamburgers. You're hungry. You're on a cruise, presumably at this point for a day. You know, they're tugging you back to Mexico at this point. But there's some juicy hamburgers. So you have to wait 2 hours in line. What do you do when you get to the front of the line? Are you taking one hamburger?
No, the people are hoarding. They're taking as much as they can for them and anybody.
But what is Dee doing?
Dee would probably do the same thing. I'd take a burger for everybody around me.
2 hours for the burgers. I'm also type 1 diabetic, so it might save my life. The burger will save my life. We're going to go on that angle. 2 hours. 2 hours. Yeah, I'm going to get my stuff so that 10 hours later, I don't need to go back in line. Anyway.
Yeah, these people are in survival mode at this point.
They are. And the news just goes from bad to shittier because as the electricity is out, they're not stopping their 3-hour tour. They're not just stuck in the ocean. They didn't anchor.
No, they've gone.
Not anchor, I guess, at a certain point.
I don't know.
They're probably out too deep to anchor. I don't really know how that works, but I don't know.
I don't know, but they've drifted like 100 miles off a course. So now they can no longer be tugboated back to Mexico. They're going to have to go to Mobile, Alabama.
They are in the middle of the Gulf. They're right on the F in the of part, and they're effed. I mean, man, at Alabama, I guess it looked like Mexico was closer on that map, but who knows? It can be deceiving. Also, Florida looked just as close. I don't know.
I don't know. My guess would be it would have to also be determined by ports that would take the ship. Like, where are the ports?
What, if anything, did we learn from the Titan about jurisdiction? So it's going to be flagged somewhere. Carnival, I'm guessing, is flagged in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was probably built there. I mean, if we're looking at the jurisdiction or who's going to be responsible for this rescue, it's probably the U.S. Now, I guess we would work with Mexico if it was closer by and, you know, get them to work with us. But maybe if it's kind of a miseven distance, maybe just a little bit closer to Mexico, they're just like, no, you need to go get it yourself. That's probably expensive. That's a big, you're pulling a skyscraper.
A tugboat.
Well, maybe you are. Yeah. Situation is just going from bad to worse.
Yeah. Because it's going to also extend the time now that they're going to be out in the ocean.
Yeah, you know, you're not
by days.
Popping Imodium and holding that poop for one day now, Dee.
This could be like 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 more days.
So I think at some point you have to go or it just gets clogged and the only way out is an enema or a Duralax. I think that's right. I'm not a doctor. You have more medical training than me. You were a nurse.
No, I wasn't. You got me confused with somebody else.
You went back after you did the
I spent 6 weeks in a nursing program and realized that my butt could not handle it. So
well, that is 6 more weeks than the training I have.
Yeah, I realized that I'm too empathetic to be a nurse. I
6 weeks, they didn't tell you if you just like get permanently clogged. I know. Okay. All right. Anyway, moving on. So we just realized what's going on here. I was looking at this beer and I was like, see, it's 5.6% alcohol. No, this says 9.5. This is basically a can of wine. And this other one that I just finished is 7.1. Therein lies why I'm good off one beer. This is why we're not going for number 2. I'm just eating some Cheez-Its, get some carbs in my stomach. Anyway,
I wouldn't even waste my time on wine with less than 12% in it.
Well, you know what? Apparently, I can only handle a can at 7, which is probably light watered down.
I was just saying when you were comparing it to wine, I'm like, not my wine.
Dee's like, if my wine isn't liqueur,
I want as much bang for my buck as I can get.
She wants the grape schnapps, please. Yum. What do you pair with a grape schnapps?
I don't know. I'm not that sophisticated. I don't pair with anything. Nachos.
Yeah.
I was going to say mine would probably be nachos or popcorn. That's my 2 go-tos.
So good as like a snow cone with grape schnapps. Because schnapps, like peach schnapps, they're like they're almost like snow cones. Anyway, I digress. Dee, I've reached a point on this ship that if we were 10 miles from Mexico, I would be swimming back. But unfortunately, we are in the middle of the Gulf. So I'm stuck on it now.
Oh, yeah. They're like, 3 more days, this is going to get a lot worse. Like, the showers are no longer draining, so the piss is just sitting in the showers.
It's bubbling around. No showers draining. It smells like urine. It smells like feces. And we've got 3 days left. And look, we aren't on some nice, cool, air-conditioned ship either. We are in the middle of the Gulf where it's humid. I mean, it's windy at least, but humid. You're also not floating very fast. So you are on a stagnant boat that's probably 100 degrees out there. It is February, but it's still hot. Like there's not there.
Oh yeah.
It's hot is the season. No. And urine? No wonder you're smelling it. It's like basically boiling in the sun. Okay, but I feel like we're trapped now, Dee. It is too late for us to swim back to shore.
I don't really think that was an option for anyone anyway. I mean, I'd have probably stolen a lifeboat and just took off on my own.
Just take a ring and kick. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is, can it get worse?
Yes, it can.
And then it gets worse. So apparently pooping in the bags they thought was a suggestion, not a requirement, because as the chef Avi kindly explains to us, he goes into the public bathroom and sees poop lasagna. What's the recipe for that, Dee?
It was like a layer of shit, a layer of toilet paper, a layer of shit, a layer of toilet paper, just a complete shit lasagna.
Everybody is saying that the restrooms are disgusting. Every single one of them. Nobody is throwing their poop away. Nobody is scooping their poop out. And it's baking in there. And
But now Devin has heard a rumor that there is a working toilet somewhere on that ship. And he is on a mission to find this working toilet.
Disgusting mission. Because everywhere he goes, it's disgusting bathroom after disgusting bathroom. It's people saying, nope, doesn't work. All right. So did you think at all that as he's walking down the hall, does this work? Does that work? The people saying no were lying so they could keep it to themselves.
Absolutely. If I had a working toilet in this situation and people were looking for it, there is no way I'm telling them my toilet works.
What if it was my little 4-year-old Jake?
My toilet does not work. My toilet does not work.
Used diapers like 2 years ago. Go for it. Which did they? I guess they just didn't have adult diapers, like not enough of them. But if they had those at the gift shop, that would have been a good purchase.
Yeah, the Depends would have been sold out as well as the Imodium.
Yeah, I mean, because then you can just like change it and not have to worry about the red bag.
Well, they could put the Depends down in the red bag when they changed it.
It's rough. It's a rough time at sea. Okay, because Devin's about to marry his in-law's daughter, and he discovers 4 working toilets. This is the holy grail.
Absolutely. And it's definitely going to get him some brownie points with these in-laws.
Brownie points.
I know, pun intended.
You know what? He was sweetening my load because I was like, if my kid was engaged to this guy, I'd be happy as Clem, even though my kid is 4. But, you know, we're talking in the future. I digress. Yes. I would be very happy that he offered me a golden toilet.
But you know what I thought was funny? Because it looked like it was like a clip that he had videoed of himself after he had gone to the bathroom. And I just thought his expression, I was like, it reminds me of like a dog out in the yard that's just pooped and has like this happy look on their face. And they're, you know, zooming around the yard.
Oh my gosh. He
had that look. He had a happy dog look.
He did. I bet he lifted his leg while he was in the bathroom. He was like, just tilt to the side a little bit.
Yeah, he just went ahead and went full puppy.
But he was not looking forward to having this discussion with his in-laws. This makes you a hero.
I know. But he acted like he was kind of embarrassed, like you shouldn't talk about it or something. Dude, you're on a ship with 4,200 people that none of you can shit anywhere.
Remember how Google told us that we don't have any class? This is probably us thing.
You didn't have any dignity.
It's embarrassing.
Google told you didn't have any dignity, not class.
Dignity. All the same.
It's them damn beers you're drinking. No, that was the 9.5. It was 9.5, the first one you drank. You're on the 7 point. Huh?
This is still full. It's not even.
Oh, I thought you had started with that one.
I've had one 7.1. Leave me alone. I don't drink a lot. And I'm fine. I had some Cheez-Its. The carbs are taking care of this. Anyway, yeah, this is, I would feel like a hero. I think my in-laws would be very happy with me to discover basically the best thing that he could get them besides a rescue boat is a working toilet. Maybe AC. Would you rather have AC or a working toilet?
Working toilet, for sure.
I don't know. I think I'd rather have, I'm going to have to go with the AC. And this is why. Because without the AC, the urine, the poop, it's just baking. If it's cold on the ship, then you'd have like refrigerated poop. Anyway, it can't get worse than this. We're good. We're fine. Everything's great. So a cruise, it is all about the experience. The staff knows this. And they have the perfect solution.
Let's give them free booze.
Open bar, y'all. Let's do it. They get shit-faced. And it looks like a lot of fun. Like the bachelorette party, they are rocking and rolling.
Finally, some more alcohol.
They see what marriage is about to be like. There is this couple just having sex right there on the pool deck. Don't want to tell her anything. It is becoming swingers paradise.
In front of everybody.
And as we see this, I go, Dee, there are children on this ship.
Mm-hmm.
And we go over to Becca.
Yeah.
Becca and Larry. And I mean, Larry has to know that if this makes the news, his ex-wife is going to cut his dick off.
Yeah. He's for sure going to lose custody.
He feels hopeless.
Yeah.
He's about to be neutered.
Yeah. There's people pissing off of the side of the boat. There's people fighting. They're throwing the shit bags off of one deck and they're blowing back on the people on the decks underneath of them. This is disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
Who thought it was?
No. At first, they're like, oh, brilliant idea. Pee off the side of the deck. And then we get the same picture of the cartoon Winky guy peeing, and they're like, oh no, it's a bad idea now.
I don't know, but whoever thought that the alcohol might be a good idea, nah, that was a bad idea.
The bachelorette party does not seem to think so. They would not agree with you. To them, besides not being able to walk in Cosmo and being pulled back to shore with a rain jacket, this is the second best part of the cruise, is the free booze.
But it's just going to make people pee more and shit more, too.
Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, nothing's going to stop it. Well, no, you're right, because they'll have to pee.
And then you're going to probably deal with vomit, too, from the people who are hungover.
Hungover and smelling like you're on a porta potty.
Yeah.
Like this on a floating porta potty.
Yeah, it just made, I think, the whole situation worse. It was not a good idea. Or there should at least been a limit on, how much they were getting.
But ahoy,
person.
ahoy, Dee, look into the distance. What is that?
It's the tugboat coming. It's finally coming.
We're getting tugged. Yes. So we see the little tuggy guys getting off the boat, their little tuggy tugs, and they're getting onto the ship. They got all kinds of stuff to string this thing back to Alabama. And we got one in the front, one in the rear, and we're moving. I'm surprised that these tugboats can pull this thing.
They look so small next to the ship.
Small. This would be like if one of Jake's toy boats pulled my father-in-law's boat out of the ocean.
Yeah, that's the way it looks. Absolutely. And
Crazy.
although everybody is thrilled with this, hey, we're finally moving, we're heading to Mobile, there's one thing they didn't think about.
Well, why would they think about anything? They just had an open bar.
I know. But now the shift in the boat from the tugboats is causing all of the piss and stuff to roll out of those showers and into the bedrooms, into the hallway. There's piss running everywhere all over this ship when the tugboats start moving it.
There is sewage coming down the walls. It is dripping sewage. This is like the scene in Star Wars where they're in the trash compactor, but it's just poop and you're about to get squeezed in. Can it get worse?
They're walking through this. Ugh.
I think we are at the worst part of this. There's no water, there's no electricity, there's no AC. They are now baking in piss
Everywhere. It's not confined to the rooms anymore.
This are trying to swim 10 miles back to Mexico early on.
Like I said, I think I would have stolen a lifeboat and just took out on my own.
What if you could only grab a life safety ring and you have to share it with a friend to get back to Mexico?
Oh, I mean, what else can you do? I mean, you probably just have to suck it up and bear it with everything that's going on this ship, but it has to be miserable. I mean, I know we've made a lot of fun of it and jokes and stuff, but it has to be miserable.
I mean, really? So, there's morgues on cruise ships. They have a morgue on every boat in case somebody doesn't make it. There's nothing keeping the bodies cold. If anybody did not make it on this cruise in the first 3 days, you have hot bodies.
I didn't even think about that.
That can't smell good either.
Ugh.
It's rough.
This is a floating disaster.
It really is. It's a shit show.
Mm-hmm. It's a floating.
So they get back. And there are people cheering for them. They feel the energy of the crowd, and they're just so happy to be off that boat.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, people are showing them signs. I mean, it really makes them feel good.
Devin is shaking hands with his father-in-law, which I was like, dude, you have not washed your hands or showered, and you have been pooping on deck. And then Becca, she was so cute. She was so little.
She was.
She runs to hug her mom, and I'm like, "Where's Larry?
Larry, what am I gonna say now?"
And they still can't record together 13 years later. And then we get a little follow up about everybody. Chef Abby cannot look at lasagna the same way again.
No. I wouldn't be able to either.
Becca and Larry, they're still cruising together.
Just not on Carnival.
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't either.
The bridesmaids, she gave biohazard red packs to her bridesmaids. Ashley,
I thought that was hilarious.
That was so funny. I bet they still cruise. Yeah. Evan actually goes on a vacation every year with his father-in-law. So
on land only.
Land only. But it bonded them. Yeah. Who are we missing?
Well, I think the real heroes here is the crew. Everybody talked about how thankful and grateful they were for the crew. They had gone above and beyond what any crew should have had to have done.
The real heroes are the Carnival employees who picked up the poop as if we were dogs on board and who gave us $500 a full refund and another free cruise.
Like that would happen. Some of them probably did take them.
Who's going on the free cruise? We definitely have
the bridesmaids, I would say.
The bridesmaids, Becca and Larry. I think Devin, well, no.
They said on land only. And Larry and
King.
Yeah, and Larry and Becca.
A dude's hand with his poop hand walking off. They definitely went on the next cruise. In fact, it all looked like they might have been on a cruise ship for the filming. Maybe they all got a free cruise out of that too.
Well, or maybe they made a set to look like a cruise.
Well, that's probably right, but in my imagination.
Okay, we'll go with it.
We're definitely not going on a cruise. I think Abby's done. He's done. That was the hardest he ever worked in his life, and all he got was shit lasagna.
Yeah.
Do you think they got hazard pay?
I wonder. I mean, I had no idea that there was the disclosure on the tickets like it was.
Yes. So at the end, we see the boilerplate language where it says, you're not guaranteed anything. You aren't guaranteed food. You aren't guaranteed a boat that can safely get you from point A to point B. Like, you aren't guaranteed dick. Well, maybe you are. Maybe that's the only thing you're guaranteed on this boat.
Or alcohol.
You're not. So we meet a maritime lawyer, and he actually files a lawsuit. And that's kind of the problem that he says they run into. But we do find out that they settle. And I think that's because boilerplate contract, there is an argument that that isn't a true meeting of the minds. So with contract law, it's basically a meeting of the minds. You have two people agreeing to do something under contract. Now, there's things that are unenforceable in contracts, like meretricious contracts are not enforceable. That means for like a sexual nature, can't enforce that. And then there's certain contracts that like have to be in writing, like the statute of frauds. So there's a lot of different rules that you play by. But one of the things, you have to have the meeting of the minds. That's probably could be one of the arguments that he went on. And that would be the settlement. Like, are we going to leave it up to a jury to decide whether or not this is a meeting of the minds? So even though that clause is in there, it's an argument, but it's still risky. They settled. I wonder if the settlement was the free cruise, the full refund, and the $500. That might have been the settlement, which isn't bad for a settlement. Class actions usually aren't very large. I mean, this would have been a class, if we're not including the crew, of 3,000. There are about 1,500 crewmates.
Mm-hmm.
More of like, I don't know, employment law.
I don't know.
Maritime. I don't know. But anyway,
they spent
that's it.
They spent $15 million refitting and redoing the cruise.
I think it's at 150 million, and I only think that because I thought it was over 200 million when I was reading about where it ports.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, wait a minute, that number was quite a bit off. Because here it's at 115.
I just seen the 15 part. I didn't see the extra one.
Yeah,
my eyes are horrible.
Mine are too. But that's the only reason I thought of it, because I looked it up. So one of my friends said that this thing ports out of our town of Charleston, and they're like, "Don't go on the sunrise, rise or shine, chip time." Toot, toot. Anyway, that was fun. That was a good 4th of July. I feel glad to be free and not on that boat.
Absolutely, me too.
I'm about to get as free as can be. Let's just go ahead, strip down, run around. No. Okay. You know what?
That's the beer talking.
What I want to do is just go sit on the couch, maybe play a little bit of Nintendo and drink the second beer.
I was going to say, good
Probably
plan.
Dinner for my family. It's almost 5 o'clock. All right, Channel Surfers. And yeah, this is actually the third. We finished up work a little bit early today so that we could do this recording that we've been promising. It has been a crazy busy week with all the trial stuff, with all of our work, but we love to watch these shows with you and tell you our thoughts and hear yours. So leave your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. Come over to our Facebook, all the social media links. I'm putting those into the descriptions now so you can find us.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. Let's ride.